Alright, so a little bit of a different video for you guys today. This is going to be a guide on how to use Advanced Genie Editor. Advanced Genie Editor, or Age, is the engine that Age of Empires 2 runs on. If you're already not familiar, what can you do with Advanced Genie Editor? Well, you can mod data files such that you can change the attributes of different texts, different units, change all different kinds of things. You can also change graphics, add civilizations, add units. I'm not really going to get into that because I don't know anything about that. But the reason I'm making this guide is because I've been working on Advanced GD Editor to make a mod and having a really hard time finding resources for how to actually configure this, particularly on YouTube or visual resources. So that's why I'm making this guide. Hopefully you guys can have an easier time if you do choose to make any mods. And if you'd like to learn how to do a very specific thing, I'm going to put some timestamps up right in front of you right now, which hopefully should you can go and speed on along there. So first we're going to start at the beginning. We're going to go through a few changes that are very basic to modern data files. So you can make your own mods if you like. So let's get started. We're on Age of Kings Heaven, which is where a lot of modders go. This is where you can download Advanced Genie Editor 2018. There's 3 versions of Advanced Genie Editor. This is the latest one in 3. And basically go to the website you see right up here. You can copy it exactly, or you can put it into Google. And you can hit the download file right here and have information on Advanced Genie Editor. As you can see, this was the 2018 one, so it's the most updated one. Hit the file there. It'll download for you. It's already downloaded for me, of course, so I'm not going to show you that. And eventually put the file right here. So I'm going to have some important files on my desktop, and all the important files are going to be right here. I apologize, it's a little messy. And yes, this is my actual background. I didn't just do this for this video. But here we have the Genie folder. I'm going to click inside it. You see there's some files here, and most importantly, the Advanced Genie Editor 3 application. And we open that up. I actually already have it open. So if we open it up, double click, it's going to ask us where do we want to pull the files from. So since this is an application, it's using files to pull from. The most important one is the compressed data set. This is where all the data stuff is, and it's where we're going to be modding and saving things to. So it may or may not give us a default pathway. As well, if you're going to be working on Voobly, you want to publish this to the Voobly library, you're going to want to hit Conkers up there. If you're going to be working on HD, I think you're going to either hit HD here, or this is all the expansions. I think it includes Rise of Rajas, but I'm not 100% certain. So I'm going to be publishing this on Voobly. We have Conkers up there, and we have to check our data file. And this is a pretty general path for where you can find the data file. Age of Empires 2 games. I already have Woe Little Kingdoms installed, of course. Data Age of Empires 2. Browse button, and this is what it looks like. And go backwards. Alright, so I'm going to edit that file. However, very important throughout this process, we make backups of all our files. I learned this the hard way, as you can see down here. Backups, DAT, dead. This is when I was almost done with the mod, and I made a critical error, and I forgot how to undo it. So I had to restart the whole thing. So always make backups. That's a big one. And as well, these are just language files. I'm not actually sure if you need these to work, but I just copied them from the directory. One of them can be found in the exact same data file. I think the others are in some very general locations that are easy to find. But I copied all of these and pasted them on my desktop and then made copies of those, just in case. But I'm not actually sure if they're necessary. This is the most important one, the DAT file. We're going to hit open on that, and boom, we're in Advanced GD Editor. This is how the interface looks like. There's a few important tabs, at least the ones that I'm going to be going through. We have the Units tab, where you edit units. Civilizations, where you can edit team bonuses. We don't really use this too much. Or I don't anyway. Tech tree, I never use this. I'm not exactly sure what you can do with this. Again, I'm not an expert at this. We have the different effects of technologies. So this includes civilization bonuses, technology trees, and other interesting things. And techs, we have just a bunch of technology, civilization bonuses, and other things. However, it gives you different options than the effects tab. So these are the most important ones: techs, effects, units. We have some other things that I have no idea what they do. So I'm going to get started with, I think that's all the basic general information about it. Just whenever you need it to save anything, hit the save button and it'll overwrite it. Again, make copies of this. This file will only work if it's named Empires 2 X1 P1 with the underscores right there. So if you want to test this out, which we'll be testing very often in Will Little Kingdoms, I have a shortcut right here on the top left, then it needs to be named this and in the proper location. I would recommend actually taking this file, working on a copy of it, and then replacing it in the directory once you want to test it out. However, I'm pretty confident I'm not going to screw this one up, so I'm just going to edit straight out of the directory. And not worry about the backups too much. Do as I say, not as I do. So let's enhance this. We're going to go over to the left, and I have right there list of balance changes that I'd like to make, or changes to the game. You can make this whatever you want. I'm not the boss of you, but these are some general changes that I think should pretty much highlight what some of the easiest or most important things that you could do are in Genie Editor. So first thing we have is changing the cost of tracking to 30 food, reducing the time to 15 seconds. So I'm not going to be getting into any of the reasons why I'd like to make these changes. These are just general changes. They could be anything. I'm not here to advertise anything, just to make a guide on Genie Editor. So this is how to change the cost of a tech and reduce its time. So basically, go over to the text thing over here. I'm going to type in tracking. Tracking is also identified as the number 90. And we can see a whole bunch of things about the technology tracking. Its effect is 90, which is very convenient. That doesn't always line up like that. So this is all general stuff about the technology. If I type 90 over into the effects, then sure enough, I get tracking. And changes attribute 1, which is changes the attribute of line of sight by 2 for infantry, as you can see here. And also increases the search radius by 2. A lot of hidden things that you can see in Genie Editor, and I'll be showing you some of that stuff later. So tracking costs 50 food, as you can see from food storage. There's a bunch of options here. We're going to change that to 30 food. Research time to 15 seconds. So research time's right here, 15 seconds. Simple enough. Then I hit the save button. And remember, once again, don't save directly in your directory like I'm doing. Save in a copy, and then you can change the name and replace the file, and that way you always have backups in case you mess something up, and you can mess something up really bad in the game and have to start all over like me. So that's that amount of food. We'll be doing all the checking at the end of this video, I think, just to make sure everything goes well. What you should do is you should check as you go, because that way, if you know you messed something up, then you can easily go back and figure out what it was. Because sometimes things don't work exactly like you think they will. There's so many different overlapping, I don't know, effects that sometimes things just don't work out the way you think they will. So there we go. We've changed the cost of a technology, and we've reduced its time. Very simple. Next, we're going to increase the attack bonus of a Men-at-Arm versus Eagle Warrior. We're going to go to Units. And let's type Men-at-Arms, see if it pops up. Oh, it doesn't pop up. It's because I misspelled it. It's Man-at-Arms. Simple enough, it pops up. This doesn't always happen this way. So, Men-at-Arms, plus 1 additional bonus attack versus Eagles. Let's take a little bit of look here. Nothing important up on top. Hit points 45, speed 0.9, line of sight, search radius. Oh, here we go, attacks. So it'll have actually the attack bonus and the base attack right in there. And as you can see, type 4, base melee, amount 6. And this is also important, the shown attack is right here. The shown attack is always the same as the base, and if you edit it, make sure you edit the shown attack or else you get very confused. So we're going to be editing the attack bonus, which will be right here, Eagle Warriors. So amount 2 attack versus Eagle Warriors, plus the additional base attack. So we're going to change that over to 3. And simple enough. Save. There we go. We've changed the attack bonus of Men-at-Arms to 3. Next one, long swordsman and up, 4% movement speed. So we're going to go long swordsman up. Oh, look, long swordsman. Oh, there it is. I misspelled it once again. I have to spell exactly as it is. This is pretty easy finding this unit. Speed 0.9. Now, you're going to have a little handy calculator. Let's go back to my desktop. And you're going to need a calculator. 0.9 times 0.04 plus 0.9. 0.936 is 4% speed. 0.936. Go to two-handed swordsman. 0.936. And champion. 0.936. Simple enough. Save. We've changed the speed of the unit. Alrighty. Let's go back over here. Pikeman upgrade cost. So now we're going to change the upgrade cost, just like we did for tracking. And we have two different technologies. We have the Pikeman upgrade and the Pikeman make available upgrade, which is an upgrade that costs no food and has no research time. You'll see a lot of these make available upgrades for any unit that you need that isn't automatically available from Dark Age, I guess. So there's a lot of these make available upgrades. I wouldn't mess with that really. And it's available to every civilization, as you can see. Although I think that maybe the Turks would have this technology disabled. Anyway, we're just going to go to the Pikeman upgrade there. 150, 90. Okay, simple enough. We've changed the cost of that tech, just like tracking. Battle elephants, let's reduce their cost and reduce their health. Go over to units. Now let's see if this pops up. I don't think it does. Yeah, battle elephant doesn't come up. It's one of the expansions units. So there's a few things you could do when the unit doesn't come up. You could scroll down and look forever at what could be a unit. As you can see, there's a lot of abbreviations for a lot of these things, which are not intuitive at all. And there's about 1,000 units to choose from. So it's going to take me forever to go one by one. Another thing you could use, which works for every unit that's not a part of the expansions, you can go over to, just type in Google, or you could copy this web address, icon ID. That's those little numbers that you saw next to the units right there. So if I need a knight, I can search by icon ID. And let me show you how to do this. Or let's say archer. Okay, I need to find number 17. You can choose, this is basically a filter. So I'm going to go over to filter by, you can filter by a ton of things, and we'll be doing this for the battle elephant. Let's filter by icon ID. There we go. I go ID, number 17. And we got a lot of things. Actually, it might be icon. One or the other. There we go. Okay, icon. That's the better one. So we have archer as 17, and the rest of the stuff doesn't really matter. But we found basically what we needed using the icon ID. You can find a ton of units like this. Looks like you can even find buildings. And that'll work for a lot of units that aren't as intuitive to find as other things. However, the battle elephant is a newer thing, and currently this icon ID on Age Community/fandom is not showing the icon ID for the battle elephant. So this is where some game knowledge comes in. So let's go. What is the attack of a battle elephant? So let's do armor count. I'm thinking about the most unique statistic I can name about a battle elephant. And we could do food cost because I know how much it costs in food. We could do hit points. Let's do hit points. So the battle elephant's hit points, based off my memory, are 250 for the normal and 300 for the lead. And there's no other units in the game that have those statistics. So 250. See if we find anything remotely close to battle elephant. Yes, we do. Pull that on the side. So here we go. We have battle elephant, 250 HP. That's going to be the one, number 774. And what's the change we wanted to make? Cost reduced to 105 food, 70 gold. So we're going to scroll down and look for where we find cost. Here we go, food storage. Let's change that to 105. Reduce health to 200, 250. Let's find where HP is. Here we go, 200. And let's go to that Leap Battle Elephant. Oh, there's two ones that are identical, it looks like, 760 and 848. Which one do we want? Now, these are very similarly named. However, I can know from my game knowledge that a unit that has Battle Elephant in its name and has an attack of 8 that is pierce damage is actually the Ballista Elephant. Go over here. This is also the Ballista Elephant. And that's right, we're sorting by 250 HP. We need to be sorting by 300 HP. Let's sort by 300, and there we go, Elite Battle Elephant. So Elite Battle Elephant, reduce the cost, change the HP, 250. $105. Here we go, save, and of course, double check. Open up your Wololo Kingdoms, open a scenario, see that your changes have taken place. If not, there was a problem. Alright, let's go to walls. Palisades and stone walls take plus 1 second to build. Alright, let's see what we can do with this. Go back to choose, which is basically nothing. So, palisade. Oh, there we go. Palisade walls does come up. And if you do this method, palisade gate, by the way, will not come up. So you're going to have to sort by the HP or the build time. All these statistics you can look up from the Age Wiki right here. And that's why I had this open, because this is the Age Wiki. So basically you can search there and look up for any attribute that you'd ever need to find so you can search for other things. Go back. So palisade wall, we want it to build 1 second longer. Builder. Train time 6 seconds.